Oh yeah, so when this installment of Pirates of the Caribbean came out, it was also around my birthday. Me and my friends went back to the El Capitan Theater in Hollywood. Remember I said that's where I had my 12th birthday party seeing the third Pirates movie? So I figured, let's do it again. And this I actually have footage and photos from. After the movie, we got to see props from the film. It was awesome. They had Blackbeard's sword, they had the voodoo doll, and I also still have the ticket stub from this as well. Again, good times. Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides. So 4 years after At World's End, we are no longer concerned with Will Turner and Elizabeth Swann. Their story is done. But the third movie ended with Barbossa and Jack going, hey, there's a fountain of youth out there. Why don't we just go looking for that? So that is really what this movie is all about. It's about Jack searching for the fountain of youth. And we got some new characters this time around. First off, the female lead in this movie, Penelope Cruz as Angelica. Wrong Angelica. That Angelica. And this character is actually pretty badass, although there were some points where I could tell Penelope Cruz just was kind of half-assing her role, not giving her all. One scene in particular towards the end, I could tell she was trying her best not to laugh. But she has sexual tension with Jack Sparrow in that Batman Catwoman kind of way. Their chemistry works really well. One of my favorite scenes in the movie is when they're dancing on the hull of the ship. They're doing this tango or whatever, and they're discussing what their plans are for the Fountain of Youth. Who's gonna drink what? Who else is involved with this plan? Ian McShane as Blackbeard. And I remember people being really excited for Ian McShane as Blackbeard. Everyone knows Blackbeard. I think the guy was actually a real person at one point in time. Edward Teach. That's his real name. Now, Ian McShane does a really good job as Blackbeard, although I didn't really see him as all that threatening. Like, he never just up and killed anyone ever in the movie. He said some pretty evil shit, and he had his crew kill people for him. You get the feeling, yeah, this guy's a pretty bad person. I would never want to be working for him. I guess when I first saw this movie, I was expecting him to kill more people. But he still does a really good job, and he looks great too. That is Blackbeard. I love the scene where he first steps out of his cabin, and like, you see the part of his beard is like, there's smoke coming up from it. That was a really nice touch. I was like, ooh, there's a villain. So we have Jack Sparrow and Angelica and Blackbeard going after the Fountain of Youth on Blackbeard's ship, the Queen Anne's Revenge. And we also have Barbossa's crew going after it. Barbossa in this movie has completely turned turncoat to the British side, which really threw me for a loop at first. I was like, I thought Barbossa was the pirate to end all pirates. What is he doing working for the British government? It was a really nice twist. I really appreciated it. Now, the thing about On Stranger Tides that really makes it different from the previous Pirates of the Caribbean movies is that it's really lighter in tone and mood. It's not as dark and serious because there's no real love story to attach to. I mean, there is Philip and Serena, but you don't really care about them. It's not the main focus of the movie like Will and Elizabeth were in the previous films. Their thing is just a little side thing. But it's not as dark or serious. It's lighter, it's funnier. This is probably the funniest of all the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, at least so far. It's an episode. It's an episode of the Pirates of the Caribbean TV show, except they're movies. You know, here's the adventure Jack Sparrow's going on today. I love it. One big thing about this movie is that there are mermaids in there, which is funny because before, when people thought Disney's mermaids, they thought, oh, Disney's mermaids. The mermaids in this movie are not like that at all. They lure men in with their beauty, and then they kill you by drowning you. Yeah, these mermaids are pretty violent bitches. Great scene, though. The action in this movie is really cool. You can tell it's a different director doing this movie. It's Rob Marshall. The previous 3 films were directed by Gore Verbinski. You can tell the action scenes here are more choreographed, but they're not like Star Wars prequel choreographed. They're still a lot of fun to watch. And when the action's going down, the music's kicking on, it's classic Pirates of the Caribbean fun. I love watching it. Which brings me to the score of this film, and a really neat addition was made to this score. Again, it's Hans Zimmer doing the main orchestral work, but he hired Spanish musicians Rodrigo y Gabriela to play some Spanish guitar for the score. It sounds really cool. Again, for that tango scene, the music is all like... It's great. It's a great addition. It just adds a really unique flavor to this movie. Also makes sense because the Spanish army is also going after the Fountain of Youth. And on a side note, this movie also has one of the coolest deaths I have ever seen in anything. I'm not gonna spoil who it is, but it's towards the end and I didn't see it coming, and when I saw it for the first time, I was like, oh my god! It's still, to this day, just one of the coolest deaths I've ever seen. So Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides had really cool characters, really fun action scenes, great music. It's just a really fun episodic movie of Pirates of the Caribbean. So Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides. Have you seen it? Have you watched it recently? How does it rank among all the Pirates of the Caribbean movies for you? Or what is your favorite Pirates of the Caribbean movie so far? Whatever it is, go ahead and leave a comment. And don't forget to subscribe. We are at Hollywood Boulevard. We are at the Chinese Theater right now, actually. Oh, Jim Kelly. Wait a minute, what is this? Harry Potter autographs. Emma Watson, Daniel Radcliffe, and Rupert Grint.
Hermione, Ron, and Harry.
Yeah, Dick Van Dyke is right here. Marilyn Monroe. Wow, look, June 26, 1953, this was done.